Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm really excited. So I'm going to do my best to try to compose myself and actually do a good stream here. But super excited today. Launched my new Kickstarter for my upcoming 5th edition book, Monstrous Heroes. Down in the video description, you'll see the link to the Kickstarter. There's also a link to the free PDF. It's like a 32-page PDF. By the way, is this background ambience too loud? Let me know if this like background war, it's like a war with monsters invading. This is the sound of the Monstrous Heroes revolution beginning. So what I'd like to do here with you guys is actually build a Monstrous Heroes character with you all. Like, if you guys in the comments can guide the creation process. And if you want to grab that preview PDF, just check the link in the video description. And I'm going to be using content out of there. So if you want, you could follow along in that. I'll also be displaying it on the screen. I don't know how small the print will be to people that are watching. So it could be helpful to follow along using the Monstrous Heroes PDF. Good evening, everybody who's joining, or maybe good morning if someone's joining in Australia. Doc Holidays, David the Barbarian, Raging, Classic, Mr. Huber, and Esper Kickstarter. Almost funded? I might fix that. So yes, I'm almost funded. I launched at 10 a.m. this morning Central Time. It is now 8:20 p.m. Central Time. My baseline funding goal is 10,000, and I'm currently at 9,500. So if anyone is so inclined, also jump over to the Kickstarter page and pledge. There's different tiers. There are a bunch of add-ons. It's a big old fat mamma jamma of a Kickstarter. If you're not familiar, I've been kind of bombarding everybody, but maybe you haven't heard. Monstrous Heroes is this book I've been working on for several months. Been working on it like a madman, and it's all about monster characters. So these are like race classes. So you can play like a Minotaur, and you get your racial traits and your class features. There's going to be 14. Actually, there's some stretch goals to go up to 18. 14 to 18 full monster classes, subclasses, spells. It's got an old school feeling meets new school. It's kind of the best of both worlds, the best of old school and new school together. Luis, hello. How much time is there to back it? Technically, there's 29 days to back it. So if you can't get on board now, you got a couple weeks. But I have this big goal to hit 100% funded, my baseline at least, within 24 hours. So I'm 10 hours in. All right, just got another pledge there, up to 9,500. So waiting for your next paycheck. Much appreciated. Yeah, you've got a couple weeks here, so it'll be there waiting for you. All right, so why don't we get on to making a character? No one has mentioned that the background war ambience is too loud, so I'm going to assume that the volume is good. Okay, so I'm going to jump over here to a different screen, and you guys are going to see a bunch of windows now. Okay, here we go. All right, so in the upper left, we have the Monstrous Heroes preview PDF. This is version 4.2, just released this last night. It has 4 monster classes in it. It's got Minotaur, Arachneer, and Vampire, and Ogre now. It's got the first 12 levels of those classes, and it's their beta test state, but it's a pretty developed beta test. Like, they're ready to play, and they're definitely quite functional, and they've already been revised a number of times. As you can see, this is already on version 4.2. Okay, and then in the lower left, hello, Kathy. Hey, I saw you on the Kickstarter today. Thank you very much for the support. Seamus Ritchie, The volume is low, but we can hear you well enough. Here. I turned my volume up a little bit there. Yeah, okay. I think my volume's pretty good. And then I can turn up the background ambience just slightly. Don't want to overdo it with the monsters invading. All right. What was I saying? In the lower left, I'm just going to do a very simple character sheet for our monstrous hero. I'm juggling a bunch of screens too, so please bear with me. Where is my... Hold on, I gotta find my character sheet. I've lost my... Okay, there it is. Okay, this is just a simple character sheet, so it's just, you know, everything that we will need to have a clear and practical character stats display. And then on the right-hand side, as you can see, we're gonna point by the ability scores. Okay, so first let's choose our monster class. We have the options of Minotaur. Are we seeing it? Oh my goodness, come on. There we go. We've got Minotaur. Minotaur is, as you might expect, a very physically strong class. There are currently 3 subclasses of Minotaur. We'll just do a first level character. So he's going to be a not super powerful yet, and we'll do a couple battles as well. I'd like to do a couple combat encounter fights, and the character might die. I don't know. It's just going to be a solo first level character. So we've got Minotaur, we've got Arachneer, which is a vicious and cunning spider folk type race. They begin as large size. Minotaur becomes large at 5th level. We've got Ogre, also begins at, like the Minotaur, the Ogre begins at like the very upper end of medium and then becomes large at 5th level. And then we've also got Vampire. So, any votes? Anybody in the comments here for the class? David the Barbarian's going for Ogre. Not surprised, not surprised. Minotaur also is a very rage-like class. Let's see. We've got 2 Ogre votes. Looks like Luis is voting for a Minotaur. Can we get a 3rd Ogre vote and we'll confirm Ogre? I'll show off Ogre real quick here. So what we'll do at first level Ogre, assuming that's the one. Yeah, we've got a 3rd Ogre. All right, Ogre it is. Okay, so let's go and grab this then. So at first level Ogre, we have our ogreish fighting style. Oops, I thought I could highlight individual words. We can't. We've got an ogreish fighting style. It's a fighting style, kind of like what you might think of as with the fighter fighting styles, but they're different. They're flavored towards ogre stuff. So there'll be a choice from 3 different fighting styles, and then this feature called Toughness, which is going to help us resist some damage once per short rest. And the Ogre typically is going to want Strength as its highest ability score. Usually Constitution will be the 2nd highest, so it's like a melee brute type fighter. There is an Oni subclass that has spells, and it's a Charisma spellcasting ability. So if we're thinking that later on, once we get to, I think it's just 2nd level that you choose your Ogre path. Yeah. So if we're thinking we would at 2nd level want to go with the Oni and do spells, we'd probably want Charisma to be 2nd or 3rd highest, sort of like how an Eldritch Knight will probably want Intelligence to be probably the 3rd highest, maybe the 2nd highest. But Strength is probably what we're going to want. It's definitely a frontline melee fighter class. So unless someone has a better idea otherwise, let's go with the Strength up as high as we can get it. 15 is the highest on a point buy. The Ogre racial trait for ability score increases is going to give us +2 to Strength, and then +2 to one other ability score of our choice other than Strength or Intelligence. So we can bump Dex, Con, Wisdom, or Charisma with the other +2. Okay, so let's see what it looks like if we do Strength and Con up pretty good. Get Dex to a 10. Maybe we'd want the Spellcaster. I don't know. A little bit of Wisdom. All right, so what do you guys think about this? We could do Strength 15, which will go to 17. Dex of 10. Con, we could put the 2 in that and go to Con of 17 right off the get-go. Int of 8, we're an Ogre, we're not going to use it anyways. A Wisdom of 10, meh. And then a Charisma of 13, in case we do want to go with the Oni Blooded at 2nd level. That would be, you know, kind of decent for the spell casting. The AC of the Ogre is going to be based on either light or medium armor. You have proficiency with light and medium armor, simple and martial weapons. So I'm not seeing any gripes otherwise, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to get then 17 to the strength from the +2 racial. Dex will stay at 10. That's not great, but hopefully it won't come to bite us in the ass. Intelligence is going to be an 8, Wisdom of 10, and then a Charisma of 13. Okay, let me jump over and check on the Kickstarter. All right, the Kickstarter is at 9,667. I really should have thought to put a window that would show the amount of funding on the Kickstarter. That would be so cool if I hit the 10,000 while I'm live here. That would be quite nice. And again, if anyone watching is so inclined, go over and show some support on the Kickstarter. There's many different pledge tiers, so you could do something on the lower end, on the mid end, on the upper end. There's a PDF version, there's a physical book version, there's a big hoard like value bundle with a bunch of other stuff. There's a boss monster tier where you'll get the book and you'll get to provide the concepts for one of the monstrous hero NPCs in the book. So like your concept character will go into the book with all the stats and a great illustration and like role-playing and lore details. And you'll get a copy, like a high-res digital copy of the illustration of your character. That's the boss monster tier. So check those out if you're feeling generous. Otherwise, just glad to have everybody here. Okay, so we are Ogre 1, and at Ogre 1st level, your hit die is a D10, and we've got a +3 for Con. Remember, the hit die is always maxed on the 1st level, so we're starting off with 13 hit points. We're at 13 out of 13. It's got a speed of 30. Medium armor. Let's see, what are the what do we call it? Equipment. All right, we're going to start off with 2 simple weapons. Leather armor or hide armor. I think we're going to want hide. Yeah. Okay. Hide is going to give us a +2. Our AC is not good. I hope we don't die, but we might die. The saving throw proficiencies are strength and con for Ogre. So the strength, our proficiency bonus at 1st level is 2. So our strength is going to be a 5, 2 plus the 3 from strength. And then the con will also be a 5. 3 con modifier plus proficiency bonus. Feats, we don't have any feats at the moment. Skills. Okay, for Ogre, we can choose, I can actually enlarge this, that you guys might like that better. Okay, for skills, we can choose 2 from Animal Handling, Athletics, Deception, Intimidation, Nature, and Survival. I'm thinking Athletics. We're like a hill/mountain type species. Athletics, so but based off of strength, so we get a +5. And what do you guys reckon for the other skill proficiency? Animal Handling, Deception, Intimidation, Nature, Survival. Any suggestion there? You'll also get 2 skill proficiencies from your background. I don't have the monstrous backgrounds ready yet, but there will be monstrous backgrounds in the book. So for now, we could just get a couple skill proficiencies for the background. Intimidation and Survival, David the Barbarian. All right, let's do that. And we still need to get one more. Perception is going to be a +3 because it's based off of charisma. Survival is based off of wisdom, so we'll have a +2. So we just have a 0 wisdom modifier. And one more. We can do one more skill of like any skill you want because this is coming from our background. So what sort of background did we have? I'm getting intimidation votes over there. All right, let's do intimidation. I think that's quite fitting. Intimidation is going to be a +3 as well based off charisma. We have no other proficiencies or immunities or resistances. We've got a perception, just a flat 10. Ogre gets a dark vision of 60 feet. Dark vision 60 feet. Cool. Background, we don't know. Languages, we have Giant is our mother tongue, and Common is like our secondary language. Okay, so we have hide armor. And then for Ogre traits, racial traits, the only one that we really need to concern ourselves with is Notorious Glutton. Notorious Glutton. So this is a wonderful ogre racial trait. Oh, you know what? I thought that zoom was going to be cool, but it's... There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. So the ogre, as ogres are known for, is a glutton who can really just stuff his face and eat a lot of food and eat a lot of food fast. So Notorious Glutton says that your mouth is like a ravenous maw and you delight in gorging yourself. You can eat at an extraordinary rate, consuming up to 20 pounds of food per minute, up to 80 pounds per day. And that doubles once you turn to large size later on. After you eat 40 pounds of food, roughly the equivalent of a small-sized creature, you gain temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus your ogre level. All right, so we have the Notorious Glutton racial trait, and then let's do racial traits, really is what that is. And then class features. Okay, class features. We don't have any spellcasting at the moment, so I'm going to take that off of there. All right, so for the class features, we have what I just mentioned, the Ogrish fighting style. We'll pick that out here in just one sec. Ogrish fighting style. And we have toughness. Toughness is going to help us survive. We're really going to need it. Toughness is when you take damage other than psychic, you can spend your reaction to gain resistance against that instance of damage. And you can do that once per short rest. So whatever kind of bigger hit we take, we're probably going to use that then to stave off half of that damage. All right, let's pick out a Ogrish fighting style. Okay, so there are 3 that we're going to pick from here. We've got Cave Bear. Cave Bear is the unarmed strike ogre. Your unarmed strikes deal a d6 of damage, and when you take the attack action and attack with an unarmed strike, you can use a bonus action and attack with another unarmed strike. And once per turn, when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, you can do a free grapple attempt and try to grab onto it. All right. The second choice we would have is called Crashing Storm. There we go. Now I can highlight the words. Crashing Storm. This is the thrown weapon fighting style of the ogre. I like to think it's a big sack of rocks that he throws, but it could be like javelins. So any thrown weapon, any weapon that you wield that has the thrown property, gets treated as a 1d8 damage, and the range is a far range, a 60 by 240. So not as good as a short bow, but like a little better than a javelin. And this benefit also applies to improvised thrown weapons. As long as it's something that makes sense that it could hurt someone, it stipulates in there it needs to be at least 2 pounds and relatively aerodynamic. You can treat any improvised thrown weapon as a simple weapon, get your proficiency bonus, treat it as that, the D8 and the long range. You can also draw a thrown weapon as part of the same action used to attack with it, and you do not suffer disadvantage on ranged attack rolls against prone targets. So if we want to be a rock hurling ogre, that'll be the way to go. And last but certainly not least, for the ogrish fighting styles, we have Falling Tree. This is the great club specialist. The most typical weapon of all ogres is the great club. So great clubs that you wield actually get treated with the same statistics as a maul. So it's does more damage than typical, as good as a maul, the 2d6 bludgeoning weapon. And then when you roll a 1 or a 2 on your damage dice with a great club, you get a reroll, but you have to take the new reroll. Okay, so what do you guys think? Should we be the cave bear fighting with our ogre tusks and our claws and like grabbing hold of them? Should we be the stone chucker crashing storm, tossing out rocks? Or should we be the great club wielding mauling smasher? Let me see, what do we have here? We've got Rock Darastrix. Rock, how you doing, man? Always good to see you around. You always have very interesting things to say. A wealth of knowledge you are. It looks like you're basically voting for the throne one. Strat player, what's up, Adam? How's it going? We've got a boss monster here in the chat, everybody. Give it up for Adam the boss monster. Checking in on the Kickstarter. Oh my gosh, we are at 9,862. Just a little over $100 to go, and Monstrous Heroes is 100% funded in under 12 hours. I think this is going to happen live. I can barely contain myself. Okay. We've got lots of votes for the stone chucking ogre, so we're going to go with that. All right. Ogre's fighting style, we have crashing storm. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and put an attack right on here. I'm going to go ahead and put an attack right on here. We're going to call this Rock, and this will be a thrown weapon using strength, so it's going to be +5 to hit. We got the range, like I said, of 60/240. One target. Yeah, we already know it's one target. Okay, and then the damage will be 1d8 +3. Cool. And then to our equipment, let's go ahead and just put bag of rocks. The encounter is going to be taking place on a mountainous type terrain, so we will have rocks galore to be throwing. We can also choose another simple weapon, so let's go ahead and give him something, because we probably want to make melee attacks at some point. So the ogre is proficient with simple and martial weapons. Why don't we go ahead and let's grab them all. And we'll just say we've got a big club thing that's serving as a maul. All right, this will be a 2d6 +3 damage on the hit with the maul. Okay. I think we're ready to go. Are we missing anything else here, folks? Nope. We are ready to rock. Oh, there is a ogre feature DC, but we don't have anything that requires enemies to make a saving throw at the moment, so no worries. Okay, let me switch over then here to the map. Here we go. All right, let's get our ogre out there. Let me grab a token. Ogre, which one do we want to use? I'll use this one here. This is good enough. All right, we're going to start off. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. Come on, give me an ogre. Yeah, that'll be cool. I like that. Any suggestions on the name for the ogre? That's what we were forgetting. Can we get a name? What is our rock chucking ogre named? First person to name him is gonna stick. It'll be official. F. Huber just refreshed. 9,882. Oh my gosh! All right, we're at 9,939. I am 61, a measly $61 away from being fully funded in under 12 hours. Dwayne. Oh my gosh! All right, so we got to give it an ogre spelling on this. So he's gonna be Dwayne. All right, Dwayne. I gotta get the right voice going for him here. Dwayne. Okay. Let's do this battle. I hope we don't just die like right off the bat with a goblin critical hit. And I rolled pretty high on the enemy's initiative. Oh, by the way, this map is actually it was in my Patreon last month. It's also going to be in the map pack on the Kickstarter. There's a map pack add-on that's going to have 15 maps in it. And this map, which is actually called Edge of the Void, though I'm using the... It has two variants. There's like the Edge of the Void variant and the Mountain Ruins variant. They're just different color schemes. This one's kind of a more natural color scheme. So here we are. We are trying to reclaim some of our ogre land that has long since been overrun by enemy folk and monsters and wild beasts and such. So we need to get into this ruined temple and defeat whatever occupants are squatting in there. So here comes Dwayne entering close to the temple, a massive ogre, nearly 8 feet tall, pushing the very upper extents of medium size. Got a big sack of rocks clacking there at his side. He's hungry. He's pissed. He's going to reclaim this temple. And he's also got a maul as well, a big bashing bludgeon stick. So we see a goblin here, and we're going to do battle with a single goblin. Big dumb man, die! And the goblin gets ready to shoot an arrow at us, and it wants to take our large purse of treasure, which it probably doesn't realize is actually just rocks. So rolling for initiative, we've got a 5. All right, so the goblin certainly beats us on initiative, and it will go first. 5, Dwayne. All right, the goblin, I guess I should have actually pulled up the goblin stats. That might be helpful. Okay, the goblin's going to take a shot with its short bow, and I think it's going to try to kite us. It's going to do some dirty fighting, skirmisher type tactics. Okay, goblin peeks out from behind the rock, fires his short bow. He's got certainly a hit. Oh my! All right, I hope we don't die right off the bat. This is 21 to hit. Goblin arrow strikes us for 5 damage. Dwayne is at 8 out of 13. I don't like how I wrote that. Come on. There we go. The goblin arrow clips us. We don't like that. Though the goblin does not want to stay there with a hulking ogre about ready to come and bash his brains. So he will... What is this? There's like a little... Yeah, he's going to start going up this... He moved 5 feet to get there. Okay, so he's going here. His thought is he's going to start climbing up these rocky ridges. Dwayne is pissed. Ogres are foul-tempered, furious things. Luis Roberto just bought a raffle ticket. Oversized balls. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Good luck to you in the raffle, buddy. Let me jump in on the Kickstarter. Where are we at? Okay, still at 61 shy of the funding goal. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to stay focused. I promise, guys. I don't want this encounter to take forever. We're going to go tromping towards the goblin. We can't get within melee range, but that's okay. We've got our bag of rocks, and we're going to throw a hulking bowling ball-sized rock at this goblin. I just rolled the same exact that the goblin got, so serving it right back up to him. That's a hit with a 22 attack roll. Rock crashes on him for 5 damage. We did the exact same damage to the goblin as well. The goblin is bashed, but it is a glancing blow. Alas, we didn't roll high enough. I rolled a 2 on the D8. If I would have rolled a bit higher, we just would have bashed that goblin's skull wide open. Okay, so the goblin is starting to freak out now. His arrow did not plunge into our heart and slay us as he had hoped. So he is going to, let's see, will he try to climb? He'll try to climb. Goblins aren't excellent climbers in D&D. I don't know why, but he's going to give it a shot. His climbing is, he's got a 14, I believe. I think goblins have a -1 strength. Yeah, if he's got a 14, that's good enough. There's plenty of handholds. So he gets up here, gets a little bit of high ground, fires another arrow down onto us. There's an 18 to hit. Guys, this goblin is like shooting the hell out of us. All right, the goblin arrow is striking for 5 damage. Should we activate toughness now? Or should we save it for what's inside that temple? I think we'll save it. I think we're gonna eat this goblin and get our temporary hit points. All right, we'll take What did I say? 5 again? Oof. Wow, we don't have a lot of hit points. No, maybe we gotta use toughness now. Let's go ahead and use toughness now. All right, so I will put this in blue so that way we remember that we've used it. So we'll resist that damage and take only 2. So we're at 6 out of 13. Okay. Whew. We gotta focus, guys. Here, we gotta focus. Someone's telling me to refresh. Have I hit it? Is it 10,000? It's 10,000. It's exactly 10,000. Wait, did you actually pledge exactly to 10,000? Oh well, in any case, folks, we are at 100% funded in less than 12 hours. Monstrous Heroes is official. It's going to be a thing. But this is just the baseline. All that we have done here is just merely opened the front door. Now we got tons of stretch goals to bash through and knock out. Lots of additional content that can go into this book to make it much bigger and heftier. Dwayne should be refreshed. I think he's going to be refreshed here in a moment when he eats this goblin. Why don't we say Dwayne has been given inspiration for the Kickstarter hitting 10,000. Dwayne sees the goblin up there on the ridge. He stands up onto the boulder, beats his chest. You will be my lunch. Lifts a hefty rock over his head, chucks it with 2 hands. He's getting advantage. We've just hit the funding goal. Oh. And he rolls a nat 1 and a nat 2. We better not die in this goblin, guys. If we die in this goblin, I'm going to be pissed. All right, so Dwayne got a little overexcited there, and he's so mad. The rock crashes against the cliffside there, just sending bits of chunks of rubble down, and the goblin snickers. And we'll get. Yeah, we can go a little bit to like there. Okay. The goblin fires another wicked arrow down upon us. Thank you, my love. My wife's in the chat here, everybody. Say hi to Thaisa, my wife. She's been rooting for me and supporting this whole time. She deserves the love. Okay. The goblin arrow goes flying down. He comes up with a 12. And that's our AC. Yeah, we did a low dexterity. Ogres are not known for high ACs. Have I mentioned that? Okay. So here comes the goblin arrow. I hope he doesn't roll high. We might die in this goblin, guys. I hope we don't die in this goblin. Okay, here we go. D6 plus... You know what? I've been doing the goblin's damage wrong. I've been adding +3 this whole time. So we should have 2 hit points back. I just realized it's a +2. Okay. No, we're good. Well, no, we're not good because it's a D6 +2. So if he rolls max, we're down. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking goblins are +3. All right, here we go. He rolled 4 +2, 6. All right, so we are at 2. Okay, so if I wouldn't have just caught my mistake there, we would be 0 and bleeding to death on the ground with a goblin arrow in our head. The goblin backs up like the tricky little bugger that he is. I guess he needs to do another climb check. Well, yeah, that's fine. He'll try another climb. Yeah, he did fine. He got a 17 on his climb. Okay, so he's kind of like got up to there. At the moment, we can't even really see him. He's gotten back a ways. But if we can climb up a bit, we'll be able to see him. Come on, Dwayne. You took that proficiency in athletics for a reason. This is not a hard cliff to climb. This is only DC 10. We've got a +5 athletics. We can do this. Rolls a nat 9, so that's 14. Okay, here we go. One hand after the other. Dwayne hauls himself up. Now, that was quite a bit of climb, so that probably used up all his speed. But he pulls out one of his rocks, and he flings it with all of his fury, and all of his anger, and all of his rage. 8 + 5 is 13. That is exactly the goblin's AC, because the goblin does not have his shield out. He's wielding the short bow. So the goblin's AC is 13. We rolled a 13. Right on its AC. just like what it did to us. I've got a 9 bludgeoning damage. The rock bashes into the goblin's face, and it is defeated. It shrieks a pitiful little goblin shriek, and Dwayne stomps over there, lifts himself up. No, he just reaches up with his big arm, grabs the goblin. I tell you, you are my lunch. And like the Rancor eating the Gamorrean guard, he snarfs down the goblin in 1 minute, right? Can eat up to 20 pounds. Okay, in 2 minutes, he has consumed the goblin. There's dead, and then there's eaten by an ogre dead. Okay, so that gives us our Notorious Glutton. We're going to roll a d8 plus ogre level, so d8 plus 1, temporary hit points. Here we go. We're really going to need this. I rolled a 4, so not great, but not terrible. So let's do temp HP. We have 4. Whew. We might die in this temple, guys. Solo D&D is hard. Or should we take a short rest? Can we take a short rest? Okay, yeah. The thing in there is not an intelligent creature. It's just a lurking beast. So we actually can take a short rest. Temporary hit points last until they are expended, like until you take the damage, or until you finish a long rest. Unless otherwise, there are a few temporary hit point features out there that specify, you know, the temporary hit points only last for like the duration of the spell, which is like an hour. I think False Life is that way. So let's do the short rest. We'll roll our hit die. We got a D10 hit die as Ogre, and we've got that nice +3 con. Okay, sweet. I rolled 11. Oh my gosh, is that exactly what we're missing? We're exactly back to full. Okay, I'm feeling much better now. I think we can take the beast in the temple. So we spend some time and come down this ridge. This is a bit of a climb. You know what? Maybe I should roll his athletics check. There is a chance he might fall. Wait, no, there's not. He'd have to get a 5 or lower to fall, and we've got a +5 athletics. Okay, so he eventually gets down, comes up here, comes up the steps to the ruined temple, and peers inside and sees, lurking in here, a beast that has taken up and begun layering in the ruined ogre temple of old, a constrictor snake. And the ogre sees it and thinks, more lunch. All right, Dwayne. Again, I rolled really good on initiative for the enemy. So I don't even know if Dwayne can beat what it got. I rolled really good on this. Yeah, I rolled a nat 20 on the constrictor's initiative. Yep, there's no way because Dwayne has a +0 dex. Okay, so we're just going to go constrictor then Dwayne. Let's do this. It does not have a ranged attack, so it slithers towards the ogre. All right, it is there, and it rears up, just waiting for this ogre thing, maybe hissing threateningly. All right, but Dwayne is not scared away. He is not threatened off by this snake. No. He just picks up a chunk of the rubble and chucks it at the snake. So the snake ready to attack, but Dwayne's not playing that game. That's a nat 9. We got 24 to hit. That is a hit. We smash the constrictor for a mere 5 damage. Rolling low again. Dwayne, come on. Gotta roll better than that. Excuse me. All right, 5 damage. It's actually a decent hit against the constrictor snake. That's not the giant constrictor, mind you. That's a huge size one. That would probably eat us alive. This is just the regular constrictor, the large size one. So Dwayne does not back down. He probably brandishes his. Well, he's already drawn. He's already drawn a weapon, the rock thing. So we'll brandish the maul next turn. The snake comes slithering towards us and makes its constricting attack. It lashes out, trying to seize upon us. It certainly does. That is a 17. We are hit. It deals 4 damage to us. That's exactly our temporary hit points. There are a lot of rolls, both attacks and damage, in these encounters that are like exactly right on the number. All right, so it has struck us and grappled us. Until the grapple ends, we are restrained. All right, so Dwayne is currently restrained by the constrictor, which is not a great position to be in, but it's not going to hamper our maul attack. So Dwayne brandishes his hefty bludgeon and will, I think instead of spinning the action to get out of the but restrained gives a penalty on, it gives disadvantage on attacks. Well, I mean, it's either this or spend our action to try to get out of the grapple, and then our turn's done, and the thing probably could just hit us again next turn. Let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and try to bash it with the disadvantage. So we are in the coils of the constrictor, and Dwayne swings his hefty bludgeon. Oh, alas, comes up with a nat 2. That sucks. Yeah, disadvantage really sucks. All right, the constrictor will squeeze with its coils. It will have advantage, being that we are restrained. Okay, Dwayne might die now. This is not a great situation to be in. It's got a hit. It's got a 16. There is 8 damage. Our toughness refreshed because we took a long rest. So let's use the toughness to resist that damage. So 8 goes to 4. We are at 9. Okay, Dwayne, disadvantage. Grunts as his torso is being squeezed and crushed. Oh, it's a 9. A 9 is not going to hit. The constrictor snake's AC is not fantastic. It's like ours. It's really not that good. But a 9 doesn't hit so many things. All right, that sucks. We're back to the constrictor snake. The coils squeeze. It has a total hit, 21. And there is a crush for 7 damage, bringing Dwayne down to a mere 2. Okay, so the way I see it, he is an enraged ogre. Now, just being enraged doesn't mean that you would just keep attacking. We could say that might mean we would want to get out of the coils. But what do we do? If we escape the coils... I got a hair bugging me. If we escape the coils... All right, that's it. That's our turn. I mean, we could walk away, but we've got difficult terrain from the rubble if we go up that way. If we walk out of its threatened reach, it's going to opportunity attack us, and that... we don't want that. So we're just going to roll our maul with advantage. David says, consume. That's certainly what he wants to do. We're going to swing our maul with disadvantage for the 3rd time and just hope that luck is with us. What we just need at least a 7 on both. Both of these dice have to get 7 or higher. It doesn't seem that hard, right? It doesn't seem that hard. We've got it. We got a nat 19 and a nat 14. All right. So we've got a hit with a 19. We got a D8 plus 3, right? No. We're using the maul. We got 2d6. Oh, yeah. We've got 2d6 plus 3. Okay. All right. We've got a decent chance of killing this snake. We got a decent chance. Here we go. 2d6 plus 3. The snake is wounded from the hit with the rock. I'm going to roll this one at a time. It's the tension's so thick. All right, so we got plus 3 on the damage. Plus 2, so we're at 5. Come on, D6. Come on. It's a 4. That's what we need. Wait, what did I say? We had 5 plus 4 is 9, and I think it had 8 hit points left. It had 8 hit points left. We crushed the snake's head with the maul. Rip the thing off of us. Slump over. And we'll be eating snake as second lunch. Dwayne, that was pretty epic. I thought he was gonna die a couple times there, and really was about as close as it could get. Oh yeah, good question there, Dennis. So this is 5e. Monstrous Heroes is 5th edition. It's fully D, and the other word that starts with D, third-party product. So there's advantage and disadvantage. If you have a favorable situation, you get advantage. You roll 2 d20s and take the higher of the two. If you have a disadvantageous situation, like being wrapped up in a constrictor's coils in this case, you roll the 2 d20s and take the lower of the two. Having advantage is really nice, and having disadvantage is really not nice. Congratulations. Snakeskin boots. You called it, Huber. I think it's going to be time for a bit of an armor upgrade. At least, if nothing else, just a boot upgrade. The snake will be consumed for second lunch, and I'm planning on doing a Bard stream on Thursday, and we might continue with Dwayne. We might level him up to second level. So should be Thursday evening around the same time. Actually, maybe a little bit earlier. Should be about 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern PM. And yeah, we'll see about leveling up Dwayne to second level Ogre. Maybe we'll even make a second character. Maybe we'll do a second monstrous hero and get an ally for Dwayne. All right, everybody. This has been awesome. I'm really, really happy and stoked and just abundantly grateful. Thank you so much, everyone. Really, really just beaming with optimism and enthusiasm and motivation for Monstrous Heroes, for this whole Kickstarter project and everything that's involved with it. So once again, go check it out. Links are down below. Kickstarter is going to be running for a few weeks here. Thank you, everyone who has supported already, and for those that are going to support, thank you in advance. All right, I think that'll do it. I'll see you guys in the Bard stream on Thursday. There's also going to be an Eldritch Castle episode coming up very soon as well. It's probably Friday or something, so look out for that. All right, everyone, good night, and I'll see you next time. May your adventures be many.